You were the one they never had to worry about. The one who got the grades, who kept quiet during the fights, who smiled at family gatherings even when the house had been a war zone that morning. You were the trophy on the mantelpiece, the proof that this family was doing something right. And everyone told you how lucky you were, how blessed, how special. Teachers adored you. Relatives pointed to you and told their own children to be more like you. And somewhere deep inside, in a place you didn't have words for yet, you understood something no child should ever have to understand. That love, in your home, was not a gift. It was a paycheck, and you earned it every single day. This is the golden child syndrome, and despite what it sounds like, it is not about being favored, it is about being used. In families that operate on dysfunction, whether it is narcissism, emotional neglect, addiction, or simply unprocessed generational pain, there is often one child who gets assigned a very specific role. They become the family's emotional regulation system. When the parents feel like failures, this child's report card says otherwise. When the marriage is falling apart, this child's obedience provides the illusion of stability. The golden child does not receive love freely. They receive conditional positive regard, a term the psychologist Carl Rogers used to describe affection that is only given when the child performs, achieves, and behaves in ways that serve the parent's emotional needs. You were not loved for who you were loved for what you provided, and you learned that lesson before you could even spell your own name. So let us talk about what that actually does to a person. Not the version you see on the surface, the degrees, the discipline, the put-together life. Let us talk about what is happening underneath. The first thing it creates is a kind of guilt that makes no logical sense. You forget to reply to a text and your chest tightens. You show up 2 minutes late and you spiral. You say something slightly awkward in a conversation, and you replay it 40 times before bed. This is not just anxiety. This is the residue of growing up in a system where even the smallest imperfection threatened the one thing keeping you safe: love, approval, belonging. When love is conditional, mistakes do not feel like mistakes. They feel like eviction notices. The second thing it does is far more disorienting. It robs you of an identity. When every choice you have ever made was filtered through the question, "Will this make them proud of me?" you eventually lose access to your own desires. You do not know what you actually enjoy. You do not know what kind of life you would build if no one were watching. The psychoanalyst Donald Winnicott called this the development of a false self, a carefully constructed persona designed to meet the expectations of the environment. Your true self, the messy, uncertain, beautifully imperfect version of you, got locked away so early that you may not even believe it exists. And the tragedy is that most golden children do not realize they are wearing a mask, because they have never seen their own face without one. The third consequence is a deep and unrelenting fear of being ordinary. You were told your entire life that you were exceptional, but that word was never a compliment, it was a condition. Exceptional meant worthy, which means ordinary meant worthless. So now you live on a treadmill that never stops, chasing the next promotion, the next validation, the next proof that you still matter. And every time you reach a milestone, the relief lasts maybe a day before the dread returns, because the issue was never about achieving enough. The issue is that no amount of achievement can fill a hole that was created by the absence of unconditional love. The fourth thing is something most golden children would never admit out loud. You do not know how to be vulnerable. You have spent your entire life being the strong one, the capable one, the one who handles everything. Asking for help feels like failure. Showing weakness feels dangerous. And intimacy, real intimacy, the kind that requires someone to see you without your armor, is terrifying. Because somewhere in your nervous system lives this ancient belief that if people see the real you, the uncertain you, the struggling you, they will leave. The way love would have been withdrawn in your childhood home if you had ever dared to fall apart. The fifth consequence is one of the quietest and most devastating. You become enmeshed with the people who assigned you this role. Enmeshment is when the boundary between parent and child dissolves so completely that the child cannot distinguish their own emotions from their parents'. Your mother's disappointment becomes your shame. Your father's ambition becomes your career path. You carry their unlived dreams in your body and call it motivation. You feel responsible for their happiness, their reputation, their emotional well-being, and you have felt this way for so long that it just seems like who you are. It is not who you are. It is who you were trained to be. And here is the part that stings the most. All of this, every single piece of it, feels positive from the outside. The guilt feels like having high standards. The people-pleasing feels like maturity. The relentless drive feels like ambition. The inability to rest feels like discipline. And the fear of failure feels like caring deeply. You have been performing your own captivity so convincingly that people applaud you for it. And you smile and say thank you and go home and wonder why you feel so hollow. Because that hollowness is the space where your true self should be. In narcissistic family systems, the golden child is not a beloved child. They are an extension of the parent, a mirror held up to reflect the parent's worth back to them. And mirrors do not get to have feelings. Mirrors do not get to crack. Mirrors exist to serve. And when a mirror stops reflecting what the viewer wants to see, it gets replaced. You knew this instinctively. You knew that your position in the family was not secure. It was earned and re-earned every single day. And that is why, even now, even as an adult with your own life and your own choices, you cannot shake the feeling that you are one mistake away from losing everything. But I want you to hear something right now that you may have never been told in a way that actually landed. Your perfection is not a personality trait. It is a survival strategy. It is the thing you built when you were 5 or 7 or 9 years old because the environment demanded it. It kept you safe. It kept you loved, or at least what passed for love. And it worked. You survived. But surviving and living are not the same thing. And the strategy that saved you as a child is now suffocating you as an adult. Reclaiming your true self does not mean burning your life down. It does not mean rejecting achievement or becoming careless or dismantling everything you have built. It means slowly, gently, learning to separate who you are from what you do. It means sitting with the discomfort of being average at something and discovering that you are still worthy of love. It means letting someone see you on a bad day and not apologizing for it. It means grieving the childhood you deserved but did not get, not with bitterness, but with the kind of tender honesty that finally sets the record straight. You were not the lucky one. You were the one who learned earliest that love had a price, and you have been paying it ever since. You can stop now. If this reached something in you that rarely gets spoken to, if you felt that quiet recognition that lives beneath the accomplishments and the composure, then I need you to know that this channel was built for moments exactly like this one. Subscribe, because there is more here for you, and you deserve to hear it.